Hey, Colonel. This is Solid Spud, checking in with another 10-minute build.
Okay, now I know the build video might be 15 minutes long, but it's really because the plane was in working order at 10 minutes, but I kind of got carried away and started going aesthetic and making it all pretty. Um, but this is kind of like an actual. I mean, you can see from the thumbnail, you time traveling thumbnail seeing viewer being magoogly McGoobers. We're building a VTOL tilt rotor, technically a helicopter, but it's also a fixed wing aircraft. But it's also a rotary wing aircraft. Wait, does the V-22 actually get lift from its? Okay, mind blown. I'm gonna go do some research after this. But speaking of research, a great place to do research is Wikipedia. Has all these little sources, and Wikipedia is the exact place I get my dimensions for all of these builds. Everything that I make that's a replica, I go on Wikipedia, let's say for the V-22 Osprey, I go on Wikipedia for the V-22 Osprey. I go all the way down to the specifications, and most vehicles that are on Wikipedia have a specifications tab, so anything military you want to build, unless it's some obscure battleship from like 1908 or something, even then it might have the specifications on there. Because, blueprints exist and the information gets put on. But when I'm putting down that line of blocks at the very bottom and then that red metal block, that red metal block is to tell me it's the end. It's not part of the overall length of the vehicle. That's my little trick for making replicas. And as you can see, if you want to learn how to make replicas a little more, see, I actually mess up here because I don't do it to the length that I needed it to be, and you'll see I correct the wingspan later. The width wasn't enough. I eyeballed it wrong. But if you want to learn how to make replicas better, I would suggest build it like you're building a model, like a clay model. Start with the simple basic shape and then add the fancy bits later. And I don't mean just like step 1, make the model aircraft, step 2, add details. I mean like excuse me, burpy burp. I just had a beautiful steak. It's a chuck roast. Tastes like apples. It was delicious. Anyway, instead of step 1 and step 2, you're going to go step 1. You're going to make the shell or outline or the shape or whatever you see right here on the screen. And then step 2 is going to be like, make it function. Step 3 is going to be like, okay, can it have weapons and then still function? Step 4 is like, okay, can it not get blown out of the sky and can it still function? And can I put an AI in it and can I control it? And does it, is it good? After many minutes or hours or months of testing. Then there's the final step of adding the pretty bits. I mean, that's if you're really into building a replica. I mean, if you're not super practiced at it. I'm not saying it's going to take you months. I'm just saying some people, like myself, have gone a little too far in their ships. Oh, gee. But this is all first take. I know I showed a video, I think it was the gunship. Yeah, it was the gunship video, where I did multiple takes. And I think that is definitely the only one of these builds I've done multiple takes for. But it was because, as you saw in the opening of that video, the gunship it didn't want to be built. It was protesting against it. That wasn't its nature. It didn't want to come into fruition. It was a creature against nature. The gods did not will it, and so it shall. Okay. Anyway, I kind of want to get into counter rotation, but I haven't built the rotors yet. But I know the rotors are going to be built towards the end of the video. But talking about helicopters from the last build video, you'll notice that I if you didn't, I explained in the last build video that helicopters need the tail rotors because a single main rotor on a helicopter creates a torque. For every action there is an equal or opposite reaction. Well, the force of the rotor going around also spins the helicopter the opposite ways. And so helicopters with counter-rotating propellers, meaning like one rotor on the top rotating clockwise, one rotating counterclockwise, they usually won't have this problem because it'll counteract effectively the torque from each rotor. They'll kind of balance out. And so helicopters in real life, like the Black Shark, I think I mentioned, don't need tail rotors at all. They just have the normal elevator and rudders in the back, like I put on the V22 replica here. I don't know what to name it. You know, it's a 10-minute build. VX10, something cool, something sleek like that. Oh, it's because it's a weapon to surpass Metal Gear. No, really, I love the idea of a helicopter plane. You know, any VTOL things ever. And I've been putting off the build for this because this is the one thing that'll complete my fleet. Oh, that rhymes. It's a beautiful rhyme. I need to write that down somewhere. Oh, it'll be on the video. Complete the fleet. Make a poster of that. Oh my god, make a poster of that. Put that as FTV propaganda. Complete the fleet. Who cares about road to release? Complete the fleet, my dudes. Anyway, so I really have been putting off this build because it seems daunting to me. It's like, oh, it's a lot of engineering, I gotta do it. I've been so used to building VTOLs like that. I'm gonna do one of these 10-minute builds on a normal VTOL jet like I've been doing. Because I intended one of those videos to be a 15-minute VTOL build already, and it was the one of the ones I was saying I don't like FTD anymore. But I built a VTOL. It was just really sped up, but it was slowly done. But anyway, back to what I was saying about counter rotation. The V22 takes this into account and exploits it extremely, because it's, I mean, you can't really have like a big main rotor in the middle of the craft unless you put the cockpit on the side, like the main fuselage on the sides, like a double fuselage, and then like a big main rotor. And that, never mind. Don't listen to me. Don't even picture that in your head. That's disgusting. Jeez. Oh wait. Wasn't there an FTD craft that was like a P-51 Mustang that did that, where the nose, like the engine and everything, the entire encased engine of the just like lifted upwards? I remember this. There was this thing on the workshop about this. Oh my god, it was great. So yeah, there's been some great things on the workshop. Just when FTD was alive, people tell me it's not a dead game. I'm like, bruh, okay, maybe it's not completely dead, but look at the things that were coming into fruition during its peak. The aliveness was rife. But anyway, counter rotation. Should we even talk about? Have I made my point about counter rotation? I think I have. There's not really much to talk about because I kind of aimed these conversations at 10 minutes. It's about that mark anyway. What would you guys like to hear? Would you guys like to hear more of me going through how to build these aircraft and replicas and what I'm doing in each step? Or do you like me talking about just bullshit and just, you know, like I'm just knocking it back with the boys? That's how I feel when I talk in these videos, though, honestly. Like those big talks, you know, I do those like, oh, I'm a YouTuber, bro. I'm totally like talking to you all, you know, with the webcam and a web article, bro. Totally, I'm like a journalist or something. Those talks, I'm kind of talking from the devs community. But when I'm doing these are for my boys. This is entertainment. This isn't me like trying to get something done in the FTD community. This is me just showing you guys, like, if you want to know how to build this in 10 minutes, you know, it's just a quick, easy thing. Hopefully these videos are easy for you guys to understand. That's the aim for them, is to not be an entire replacement for tutorials, but an interesting way to get to know how to build certain vehicles. Like I know, you know, some people might not know how to build helicopters because I never see helicopters in From the Depths. So I put that video out because I thought, you know, it might encourage people to put more helicopters out, which I would love to see. If you guys have craft that were inspired by, like, let's say I do a 10-minute build on the V22 like this, and you guys start making them more, I'd love to like showcase them in a separate video, or like, I'm gonna spoil it right now. This is supposed to be the spinner helicopter blade, I guess 2 weeks or so, just segment. where I do 10-minute builds on vehicles based on these spinner helicopter blades. And then at the end of the section or segment or phase, whatever you want to call it, I was planning on doing like a full tutorial on helicopter blade aircraft, so you guys know everything in depth. But I was thinking this might be easier, more refreshing, more entertaining for you guys in the meantime, to hold you down. Some people might not want to watch a full tutorial. Some people prefer to watch a full tutorial. I had another point I was going to make about that. Oh, yeah, I'm totally spoiling it that I'm going to make a tutorial. But when I do make the tutorial, I could just add up all of the like the craft I built over the week. I was going to use them as examples to show you guys like how to build them, because obviously I just built them fresh and you see them being built here in these example videos. Oh, you see here I'm correcting my stupid wingspan mistake. I was so worried about that too. Like, oh, did I make a miscalculation? Oh no, oh gee. And then you see it's all working right now. We hit 11 minutes, but the thing, it's working. I just need to reverse the right rotor. We don't even have an engine on this thing, and it can fly already. If we have an engine in this thing, we'll go zippity zap, zoom zoom fast. I didn't bother trimming the elevators or anything, or really bothering with the aerodynamics, because but I already went over time, and I've done that in other videos, and I'll continue to do it in other videos. But to continue my thought that I was on, because I know I jump around, guys. I'm sorry, I jump around a lot. I'm a jumpy kind of brain here. To continue the thought I was on. Oh God, what thought was I on? Oh gee, Rick, what was I thinking about? I can't remember. Sound a little more like Shaggy than Morty, but then again, a little more bassy today. Little more bass, Cubs. Hi guys, welcome to some Split Cubs ASMR. No, but I was talking about, okay, release. Oh, when I do my tutorial, since it's going to be a collection of what I've done over the past week or so, 2 weeks, however long the segment is, if you guys, if we can compile in some way like a collection of Steam Workshop stuff where you guys just send in like, hey, I made this, because yeah, I'll show it off at the end of the tutorial video. I'll just be like, hey guys, so I made all these 10-minute builds, and then like all these awesome cool FTD players made all these other builds in 10 minutes or otherwise, or with their friends. Oh, that'd be great if you guys build with your friends and then make something cool. I purposely haven't armed any of these 10-minute builds because I later want to do it in campaign all together. Like, I'm going to use these all in campaign. And I want to load them up with so many guns. I am daydreaming about how many guns. Shout out to my friend. Actually, I just said that reflexively. My friend. Are you my friend? Pros Parkour. Shout out to Pros Parkour. He's an awesome jet builder. I think he's built some stuff in the campaign. Ignore the broken arm on my V22. But he's built some great stuff in the campaign. And I had a discussion with him on Discord. He posted a picture of his latest jet. He was like, oh dude, large missiles. Oh dude, look how much armament it has. And he has like one large missile and per wing and everything. But his planes are fairly large compared to how I build. They're not life scale. They're very large, like Steel Striders scale planes. You'll see him. Look him up on Workshop. He's cool. He's around the Discord channels. Just at Pros Parkour. He's on mine. If you're on my, you can check him out. But I was discussing with him. I had made a slight comment. I said, hey, is that the best you can do? I'm expecting more out of you, because he built this big plane boasting about the firepower. And when I think about an aircraft with firepower, I'm thinking about every single possible meter of that wingspan has to have a pylon of either fuel or more missiles. And I see like two little testicle-esque large missiles dangling out of the fuselage. And I'm like, you could do better. You have the potential. Oh yeah, brother. Your plane has the potential. Your wingspan has the lift, brother. Yeah, you can put that tonnage on there. Apologies. Anyway, this is where I get carried away. I know we're like way past time, but I get carried away. I'm just going aesthetic mode. I want to make it big because, like I said, I want to arm these later. And I said, you know, if I'm going to arm this later, I might as well kind of put the foundation for it now, so you guys see what I'm going to do in the long run, instead of just, oh, I built a model V22 that like barely works. No, because I'm going to use all of these. And this is the first aircraft I've really done something you'll see in a second. I removed like all of the internal blocks and used just plating. It's like a plate chassis completely, which means it'll be very weak to enemy fire, but let's not get shot. How about that? Let's not get shot. But I like having a little spacious interior, especially since I want this thing to actually carry people, like infantry, you know? I'm going to mount guns in this thing. I'm going to have a remote camera controllable, retractable, gosh, this is a lot of adjectives. A remote camera controllable, retractable, 30 millimeter minigun turret. That really was a mouthful. Like, that was a lot of words. That could feed a family with how many words I just spat out. Gee, I feel wasteful for doing that. Oh, you know what irks me right now? The slope isn't consistent. Since I put that alloy slope there and then the bottom is a 2-meter slope, it's just inconsistent and it's irking me, and I want to change it. But it also kind of looks cool, and whatever. This has been Spud Cubs, guys. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and please, have a buoyant day.
Why? Why?